All right, so I have an issue with this piece right here. Now, anybody that has a profile hub, whether it's, I noticed that that compression bolt, this one right here, will then it will create like a spherical groove on this part right here. I don't know if you can see it, but you see it's like one circle, two circles, and three circles. If you can see that, like right there, it's not supposed to be three circles. It's just supposed to be two circles, which is this one, the outer one, and then the inner one. You know, this inner circle right there, that's actually created from the bearing itself. And what happens is the more and more you tighten, that compression bolt will then create a groove that will bring this closer and closer and closer to the driver until this is actually laying on the rubber part of the bearing. And once that happens, you'll get a lot of drag. And if you ignore that problem, which I would always suggest you don't ignore that problem, what will end up happening is that the bearing itself will end up getting destroyed. And once that gets destroyed, you have to completely swap out that one bearing. Now, when it comes to the bearing and that driver, it's very difficult to remove that bearing. Trust me, I've done it. And you know, I know, a lot of people are probably gonna give me slack for this, but luckily I'm in a position where I could just buy as many bike parts as I want and not think about it. So a lot of times when that happens is I'll just go ahead and just buy a new driver just to prevent me from having to replace those bearings. Now again, you can replace the bearings, you can do it. Like I said, it can be difficult. And because of that, I sometimes would rather not deal with it, and I'll just go ahead and spend $80 and replace the driver. All right. Now, what I started doing was, instead of having to always replace the driver because I don't want to go through the hassle of banging those bearings out, what I end up doing is just, keeping, extra rare profile female cone washers. I'll get a rear one, probably get maybe about like 6 in the stash. And I know, hey, anytime I might run into this issue, and I know immediately, you'll know immediately, like the moment you tighten it down and then you spin the wheel, and it's just like the wheel is like, and it'll just stop, like there's drag, it looks like something is compressing against it. That is the profile cone that's compressed up against the driver, and that is preventing your wheel from running freely. Now again, my problem with that is that normally when people run those hubs, it's a lot of racers that run those hubs. They like to go fast. They get those hubs specifically because, again, it has a lot of pulling power with that 6-pole engagement. It looks nice. It's lightweight. They're American made. The design has stood the test of time. And once you run into an issue with that profile compression cone and you get that wheel drag, immediately your wheel is no different from the cheapest wheel out there. Okay, now again, these hubs are very expensive. It can run you from $350 a piece. Okay, $350 a piece. And having a design flaw like that, I would say is there's no excuse for that. I would suggest maybe that profile cone spacer, maybe offering a chromoly version so that you don't have to worry about that being compressed up against the driver. I believe that the one that comes with it is aluminum. Don't quote me on that, I could be mistaken, but I just wanted to say that because I do believe that it should be an additional option when it comes to those components. Now I get it, Profile, they wanted to make sure that their hubs are as light as possible. I understand that, but at the same time, a component that comes with your parts should not also be destroying your hub and limiting your experience when using that hub. Now I get the chromoly version may be a little bit heavier. Hey, for me, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the additional weight as long as I know that I won't run into that issue once installing the hub. And I know a lot of people are going to say, hey, you know what, you may be tightening your wheel down a little bit too tight. No, I'm not tightening the wheel down so much so that's happening. Now I will say, yes, over time that will be the case, because I'll say this: I don't torque down my wheels, but I definitely make sure that my wheels are secure. Okay, as everybody knows, I don't run pegs, so I don't need to torque down my wheels so tight to make sure that it's in place because I'm grinding and the wheel may be knocked off course. No, again, I do make sure that my wheel is secure, but I don't torque down the wheel so much that would happen. But like I said, it's something that I don't believe should happen, or Profile should at least offer a chromoly version to prevent that from happening. Now again, I do like Profile, I do like the design. Again, in my opinion, there's a plane going by. It's somewhere, but anyway, again, in my opinion, I do believe that they should offer a chromoly version to prevent the compression bolt compressing against the driver. All right. But yeah, hey, if you guys have had the same experience, or maybe you guys had a different experience with Profile hubs, good or positive, let me know in the comments. And also too, if anybody has any ideas on what parts I should give my opinion on or reviews, let me know. All right, so again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram, IG at Bmxboysclub for daily posts. Bmx Boys Club Daily, DAILY, BMX Girls Club, and for original interviews from your favorite pros, that's BMX Boys Club Talk or IG Off the Bike. All right, see you guys next week.